Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilke empath, and I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things. And I am deep, heavy into my emotions today. Yeah, yeah, about a lot of things really. I'm full spectrum. You know, human beings, we ought to be full spectrum. I feel powerless today. Like yeah, my lights are on, but my heart goes out to about 2 million people without power. You know, the interwebs are quiet. Conservation. I've been without a utility for over a year now, and I've made declarations and posts previous that I, that 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 we're gonna be reminded of what it's like to be go without things. With all the storms on the planet, and the world is changing, and there's the division between the have and have-nots is growing, and it need not. And you see, we're coming into a big old full moon. Come on, Tut Tut! Come on, Papas! On the 13th here, about 3 days away, and I'm freaking Aries Sun, Cancer Rising, and Scorpio Moon, and we are 70% water, just like the ocean, and the moon is going to be full, and it's drawing on us, and it's drawing things out, and it's pulling things out from, deep within us, deep within our DNA. People are being reminded, ching, ching, remember, community, remember. I got an idea for California. Freaking hardy folk come from northern CA. If they're not already doing it, get out there in your trucks and clear those freaking lines. Clear the lines for the lazy freaking gross stockbroken Karen pigs. PG&E, do it for them. That's why the power is off, to risk. So you guys go out there and you clear the lines. I used to drive all over the place in those freaking logging freaking roads and stuff. Clear the lines for them, do it for them. Do their job for them. And then send them a big freaking bill. Nah, you wouldn't do that, because you guys would just do it out of the goodness of your heart, because too many people are going without right now. Because of negligence, because people got lazy and dropped the ball. Well, some people are ready and raring to go. So boys, get out there in your big old trucks. Lord knows there's all kinds of freaking first responders, sitting at your desk. Good old RPD. I'm sure you guys got all kinds of resources. I mean, shoot, you spend so much on freaking, your sports cars and stuff to drive around. So maybe buy a couple of chainsaws, go out and clear some lines, get your freaking locals to get their freaking electricity turned on. See, I'm full of ideas. I got idea after idea. Some people, we're creative like that. It's better than shut the power off. Where's the initiative and the humanity in that? Nowhere to be found. It's just lazy, man. It's a lazy. Because they don't want to pay. So, I've been reminded of a lot of stuff. Hurts, when I was a little girl. And I feel like I'm supposed to go through this so I can talk about it. And so if anyone else has had feelings like this, or, maybe you will one day, you can just remember you ain't alone, And I think that, shoot, could that kind of connection, I've been so misunderstood my whole entire life, man. Came into this world just a little weirdo. Freaking speech impediment. Got through that. I'm sure I got tested for everything when I was little. Tested. Psychologists were always watching. They always, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Nobody understood me. And I just lived from my heart. That's it. Now they call it like autistic and freaking, I don't know. It depends on what doctor you go to and what book they read. and said, okay, symptoms, are you this, and you say yes, no, yes, no. Okay, then you are, according to this, you are bipolar, and over here, you look at it, some doctor takes some blood level, and somebody could have like a vitamin D deficiency, because all these, symptoms that are related to, basic problems that people are having with depression and mood swings. It's all energy, but it's all imbalance. Stuff that's imbalance in your system, Somebody did something, you're either putting too much of something or not enough of something in you. People don't care about stuff like that. People are rather busy themselves with fucking third quarter stock options and bullcrap like that. It's annoying because the planet's fine. Yeah, Gaia, she's A-okay, she's cool, but the people are freaking, we're in trouble, I'm like, man, it's starting to get cold, and I've started thinking about, looking at the prospect, because I'm always looking at generators on Craigslist and stuff like that. I'm always thinking about preparedness, and they have these freaking local freaking agencies, because that's what they do. They freaking like seize somebody, does tick somebody off, and then they come up with a reason to go in. Okay, taxes, whatever. There's always a big bully. If they want your stuff, they can get your stuff. So they have these like big warehouses where they collect all this equipment, and if you have if you're a small local business, you can go, but you can't. You have to have a business. Because, like, you can't just go down and rent a backhoe and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, why not? I could drive a backhoe. I could figure it out. I was an age ranger in the United States Air Force back when it ain't never really meant nothing. But according to some people, it means something, but it ain't never really meant nothing to me. I'm Tuck. It said that's where I met and fell in love with you. Yes, I did. My little ginger nugget. Yeep. We're all in our feelings and emotions. See what else we're going to talk about. Get out of your brother's eye before I go crazy! No, you're not allowed. I will not have it. He's got a stitch in his eye, and Tucker is a nurturer. He has the inclination to licky. No. No bueno. So, yeah, a lot of people are really going through it, and my stuff was like being misunderstood, and the thing of it is, all this stuff is in my astrology. I heard a report today. It was about Neptune and where it sits, and for me, it sits in my 6th house. And I forget what's the 6th house. Where's my little cheat sheet? 6th house is service, health, and I have it Sagittarius. And she was talking about Neptune and having it in your 7th house, and it talks about how you can be a martyr. And I'm like, pfft. But you know what? All I heard is people talk about it in like a derogatory term. So I actually looked it up today. And so, I don't know. Martyr Marge? Nah, that don't fit. I ain't gonna wear that. But it also said that I am prone to a sensitivity to prescriptions and things like that, and that's exactly why I don't take prescription drugs. And then plus the stuff that they prescribe you, like the VA, when they did prescribe me. Now I'm not saying I drank because I was on the antidepressants, but I didn't ever think about it in 13 years before I took them. And the antidepressants that the VA did prescribe me did have in case studies in Europe, I believe, had a 31% suicide rate. So, yeah, I weaned myself off of those. Yep, I tapered myself off, and I stopped drinking again. So, yeah, it's full spectrum here over at Third Eye. Activated, man. It's been a rough, busy couple years, and Mom's, she's going through something. And she's sensitive. I know she's extra nervous because I've been extra freaking just fiery. Just fiery. And you know what? And it's like, I don't know. It gives me an opportunity to grow every day. And to be more patient, and to be more kind, and to be more loving. Every day I have an opportunity to do that. I have to. I gotta think of her. You know, she's the priority. She's the number one, you know. And she's been nervous, and I don't know, she's rubbing her face, and she's making her all red, and now I gotta figure out a solution. But I will, you know, it's always been, my mom is her, who I'm talking about. It's always been just waiting for the norm to change, you know, waiting for, and people are like, you're not very good with change. And I'm like, actually, yeah, I moved, we used to live in Morro Bay, and we were in there was a custody battle, and it was ugly, and it was the worst case scenario, probably, you know, and but it gave me a lot of life experience, you know, so people that have gone through these things, I'm like, oh yeah, I've been through that, you know, so it makes me more empathetic that way. So, but the thing of it is, like, she picked us up from school, and everything we owned was in, or, you know, everything she thought was important was in the car, and then we drove for 8 hours, and we lived in a town called Redding, and then that's where I grew up, and learned a lot of hard lessons there, and then I still got myself out to the Air Force, you know. I was just a weird kid, man. Nobody understood me. They tested me for freaking everything, man. They always kept, but I would like bomb in school because I hated school, because they'd tell you there's just one answer. I'm like, no, there's not. And then they're like, whoa, your imagination, you're a little bit out there. But you know what? It took me how many years? I had a terrible speech impediment, so people couldn't understand me. They couldn't understand me. So that's why I try real hard to be so clear, and to enunciate, and to speak from my gut, because that's what they taught me on the little blue bus in speech school. And like, I mean, I'm loud. I project, you know, like, I get people's attention, you know, and my train of thought derailed. So it took me a long time to get over that, and I had a lot of painful life lessons related to that, because my parents didn't understand me, and people, frankly, look, I mean, who likes things they don't understand? People don't like things they don't understand. People don't like things they don't understand. And my parents didn't understand me anyway, either, and they tried to like me. And they just couldn't get it. And then Mom had a stroke when I was 15, then her personality changed, and then Dad had his major traumatic brain injury when I was 12, and that changed his personality. And so I knew a long time ago, you know, that we don't always end up with the people we start out with in life, and they don't always stay the same, but neither do we. You know, sometimes something happens to them and they switch gears a little bit quicker than us, you know, but everybody has that breaking moment. You know, everybody has that experience that just changes them as a human being, that, you know, makes you see life in a little bit different way. And that's all spiritual awakening and all that stuff is waking up to see, God, man, that ain't no way to live. It ain't, but, you know, I'm here to help, man. I'm here to freaking hopefully ease some woes and not step on no toes. But, you know, I do that from time to time. And, you know, it's funny, I had a turning point for myself, because I'm 45.5 as of yesterday, and I clearly see my face in here, you know, and I don't look in a lot of mirrors. but I see my face here, and when I get in close, I'm starting to see my age. Now, when I did have it going out and trying to sample some spirits back in a couple years ago when I had my hiatus, I did get carded. And at 42, so that was cool. And I'm like, legitimately? I'm like, you're not yanking my chain? And they're like, no, I need to see her. I'm like, how old do you think I'm in? It was cool though. And I was like, how come the only people that care to get carded are the ones that are old? They're like, yes, But I don't do that no more. But anyway, it was flattering nonetheless. Feels good. But yeah, it's like, I turned a point that I ain't going back, and I ain't never gonna have nothing done to it. So I better be good to myself and not put so many lines on there with no scallywagging. So anyway, that's all I got for now. It's a long one. Hope you all have a rad evening. Peace.